Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to America's Third Party's 9/11 Remembrance show, where we are remembering what happened 13 years ago on that fateful day where our country was attacked by terrorists. Who funded those terrorists? Who was behind those attacks? Well, if you listen to the 9/11 Commission report, you would have to assume that they were Saudi Arabians. Yet our country has never attacked Saudi Arabia. We've never actually questioned King Abdullah about the incident. Instead, we started two wars, or excuse me, make that three wars: Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya. And we are on the eve of another war, soon to start, with Syria if Barack Obama gets his way. Oh, that's right. He's pretending to be the great peacenik now, brokering a deal with the UN, which is kind of ironic considering he's done a complete about-face this past week on his entire approach. Same with John Kerry. We apparently have a leadership that are aimless. They don't even know where they're going, what the strategy is. And I think it all boils down to the simple fact that we have yet to find out what really happened here. We've got a country that's been involved in cover-ups and false flag operations left and right, where they don't want anyone to know the truth. That this was a massive money laundering event. Let me give you our little spiel from our video that we have, which is a video that plays about 9/11 on YouTube, and I'll play it for you right now. Let's find out who did this. We support an independent third-party investigation of the 9/11 Commission report. Okay, so being this hole has been filled with a memorial, and being everyone is very sad about the loss of the nearly 3,000 people that died that infamous day, we haven't really figured out what really went on that fateful day. And I can tell you that there are people that have talked about it, that have openly wanted to discuss what they knew about it, but who are now dead. And I think we dropped off with the last video about 9/11, cut abruptly because I didn't have it quite queued up to play Deborah Palfrey's claim that she had information. This is the Washington, D.C. madam that claims she had information that could have revealed the underbelly of what really happened at the World Trade Center attack. Let's listen to her fateful voice before she actually died of suicide. Let's hear this very mysterious and strange audio footage from the Alex Jones show.
Approximately 11:01 a.m., Tarpon Fire Rescue have pronounced Deborah Jean Palfrey deceased.
Okay, she claims there is information they have that would have been very important for the 9/11 Commission to know, having to do with intelligence they picked up about 9/11 before it happened. Let's hear this out.
Look, I mean, she's already dropped the atomic bomb on them. She's already released the numbers.
Yeah, I have, and not to be concerned, I have no intention of letting anyone buy me off or make any kind of a deal with me.
And you're not planning to commit suicide.
And I'm not planning to commit suicide either.
The fact that you're so visible really protects you going on Larry King and other big shows, but you want to put it on record that you're not planning to commit suicide?
No, I'm not planning to commit suicide. I'm planning to go into court on April 7th if indeed we do have the trial, and I plan on defending myself vigorously, and I plan on exposing the government in ways that, I do not think they want me to expose them.
From law enforcement about their investigation into the D.C. madam.
When she went outside, she noticed the three-wheel bicycle had been moved that was normally kept in the shed. Upon entering the shed located on the west side of the residence, Blanche Palfrey discovered her daughter, Deborah, had apparently hung herself using a nylon rope from a metal beam on the ceiling of the shed.
By the way, we were corrected in chat. It was 12 years ago, not 13 years ago. Thank you for that, Don Tony. Yeah, what our earlier chatter said it was 13. I just didn't, run with that. The idea that people knew more about it and ended up killing themselves, even though they said just a couple days earlier they weren't going to kill themselves, like Deborah Palfrey and other people too, have done what is called suicided, which many people think that is some sort of a way of getting rid of somebody, is to garrote them and then hang them up with nylon rope and call it a suicide. Apparently it's one of the only ways of going undetected in a homicide. But I really believe that there's a lot of information that's being suppressed in the media, and we do need an independent investigation of the 9/11 Commission report. The reason being is they did find super thermite at that location. There was evidence that there was a large series of explosions in the buildings that would indicate that they were demolitions. And let's not forget that infamous footage from the FBI. 15 frames is all they released of a supposed object entering the Pentagon, and I don't understand why the FBI released only 15 frames from one camera angle when there were 83 camera angles that actually could have been used to show exactly what hit the Pentagon. Yet they've only revealed the 15 frames. It's kind of strange, isn't it? So all of this is leading one to believe that, this white streak right here from these 15 frames reveals what appears to be the tip of a missile, not a 737. And the approach, the direction, the area of the Pentagon that was hit, the Office of Naval Intelligence, very suspicious. That's right. So if we don't get any honest reveal from the government, what can we possibly believe at this point other than there's been some sort of a cover-up? Well, we're not going to get any specific answers from this government. We're not going to get any answers from anybody right now because basically everything's been completely covered up. And will we ever get any answers until we actually get a party that represents America? That's going to be the biggest question. And I was talking to some other people earlier about the future of America, and I can tell you that we're never going to get this right until we make it right, until the voters of this country really try to change their government from within and use the apparatus of the Constitution to elect a brand new party. Thank you. And a way to stop this kind of mindless approach toward government that Barack Obama has been involved in, where questions are not allowed to be asked. You go on any one of the mainstream media shows and talk about 9/11 as if it was a question or even a cover-up, and they're going to tell you that you're a truther and you're some sort of a whack job and you need to go away. Even though all the evidence, a preponderance of evidence, points to cover-up after cover-up. Flight 93 landing in Pennsylvania, it probably didn't land in Pennsylvania. It probably landed in Cleveland. In fact, we've got evidence that it did land in Cleveland. Let me show you this picture from Rents.com of an article that appeared. UAL Flight 93 landed safely at the Cleveland Hopkins Airport. This was reported by the 9 News staff at September 11, 2001 at 11:43:57 a.m. This is how it read. A Boeing 767 out of Boston made an emergency landing Tuesday at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport due to concerns that it may have been a bomb aboard, said Mayor Michael R. White. And White said that the plane had been moved to a secure area of the airport and was evacuated. United identified the plane as Flight 93. The airline did not say how many people were aboard the flight. Okay, you could read on and talk about this. It really reveals what appears to be the underbelly of a very corrupt situation. Lies about the existence of a flight that went down, and then you look at the crash site in Pennsylvania and it looks like some garbage was strewn around. There are no bodies there. So the American people are going to sit back and just live in absolute stupidity about what really happened, and we'll never know. And we're supposed to believe the 9/11 Commission report. We're supposed to believe even that Abbottabad occurred. An area that is hard to believe, being they haven't even shown a body of Osama bin Laden, a dead body picture. Barack Obama claimed he saw it. He just won't release it. So the American people, we're being led to believe that all these things occurred when they didn't really occur. So what I'm trying to do is not only build a third party, but give America an out when it comes to the real big question: what the hell's going on? A third party presidential candidate can reveal the truths, can show the world that we've made mistakes and clearly something was up, and that we need to move on in an honest way. We need to start creating a country that serves America and isn't the 911 police force for around the world. We need to create an America that is peace-loving, that it doesn't want to create wars to trigger more hostilities and foment riots around the world. We should be a new America with a brand new president, a third-party president with a brand new face on our foreign policy. That would change things and the entire dynamic that is currently happening at the NSA and the CIA and all of the agencies that are having to walk in this mess that we've created with all these lies. So I think the time to come clean about everything is now, or perhaps in 2016. And we need to get everything out on the table and talk about it openly. A 9/11 Commission report investigating, a third-party investigation of that report is necessary. We also have to find out whatever happened to our country that allowed an illegal president to go forth unvetted on his background, on his Muslim faith, on all of his behaviors since he's become president. I mean, what possibly could have happened to America to have allowed this situation to unravel as far as it has unraveled? Because if you're a logical person in America, you're looking at all these events going, this is BS. That's BS. It's all BS at this point, because we Americans are led to believe that, oh, our government would never do anything wrong, except for the fact that they won't present any evidence, any chain of evidence showing us the truth. Now, with a serious situation, it's now in the hands of the UN. There's a lot of people grandstanding and trying to mold the message so that the UN is acceptably able to go in and find the chemical weapons. I believe that we're really creating a recipe for disaster with the UN overseeing anything. I don't know of any operation the UN has overseen effectively. And even the bombing and takedown of Kosovo and Herzegovina was ultimately part of our operations, not the UN's operations. They were just there as peacekeeping force. What stopped that event from happening and getting worse, with the Serbians gaining control, was Bill Clinton flying over with F-17s and spraying large bombs on those countries. So we as a nation cannot possibly rely on the UN to solve our problems, and we need to disengage from the UN, except keep a membership, but not give them $55 billion in the Millennium Directive like Obama's giving them. We can't possibly afford that. And I don't believe that we should let the UN dictate our foreign policy. So we need to learn something from the 9/11 event, and that is that America needs to ask the big questions, and we need a brand new party to solve how and where we're going to move from that point on. Thank you very much for watching. And we do the show 6 to 9 Monday through Saturday now, and the anti-war show is still going on Saturday, because I believe that Obama's just maneuvering behind the scenes along with the UN and all of the people that power up his puppetry, that they're trying to create a war in Syria, and I bet they're going to keep pushing. So we need to keep pushing for anti-war and to bring our troops home and get this country back on track. You know, there are bigger fish to fry here in America right now. We've got a situation where we need to bring our troops home, and we have a situation where we need to end the Federal Reserve. Now, that's something a third party can definitely do. We have the ability to retire the charter of the Federal Reserve and get rid of the central bank. It wouldn't be the first time in American history that it's happened. It would definitely help. Thank you for watching, and please tell everybody you know about America's Third Party and tweet @ThirdParty. Thank you.